20 insanely expensive things owned by the British royal family. Have you ever wondered how the British royal family spends their money? Well, you're not alone. Today we're going to take a look at 20 insanely expensive things owned by the British royal family. You won't believe how much money they spend on their jewels, cars, homes, and even their pets. So sit back and enjoy the show, because these are some of the most luxurious and lavish items you'll ever see. Number 1. Balmoral Castle. One thing that makes the British royal family insanely rich and influential is that they own a whole lot of land. Balmoral Castle is one of the most regal properties the royals have. It's a huge estate in Scotland that covers over 50,000 acres. That's like the size of a small country. The late Queen's beloved summer home is not just a fancy place to stay, it's also a historical treasure. The palace was bought by Queen Victoria and Prince Albert in 1848. She loved it so much that she built a new Scottish and Gothic-style castle on the site in 1856. Since then, it has been the private residence of the monarchs and their families, and they often spend their summer holidays there. The beautiful gardens, forests, lakes, and mountains in the surroundings add to the charm and value of the castle. Balmoral Castle is estimated to be worth over £100 million, which is about $140 million. That's a lot of money for one house. Number 2. Regent Street. Regent Street is London's hotspot for shopping. But did you know that it is also one of the most expensive things owned by the British royal family? That's right. The Crown Estate, which manages the property and land of the monarchy, owns the entire street and leases it to various retailers and businesses. Named after the Prince Regent in 1819, the street's origins trace back to a time of extreme royal affluence. It was constructed as a grand boulevard connecting Regent's Park with Carlton House. Regent Street became a symbol of his lavish lifestyle and taste. Today, it's home to some of the world's most prestigious and exclusive brands, such as Burberry, Apple, Tiffany & Company, and Hamleys. There are a lot of celebrations and events held here all year long, including Fashion Week, summer streets, and Christmas lights. The street is not only a place to shop, but also a place to experience the culture and life of London. Number 3. The Crown. Now, let's talk about that infamous late Queen Elizabeth's mother's crown. It is among the most extravagant headpieces ever owned by the British royal family. The late Queen wore it at her coronation and state openings of Parliament. It's made of platinum and has about 2,800 diamonds on it, but that's not it. The crown has the most controversial diamond in the middle of its front cross. Yes, we are talking about none other than the Koh-i-Noor. Along with its bloody history, the 5,000-year-old Koh-i-Noor diamond is one of the largest cut diamonds in the world, weighing 105.6 carats or 21.12 grams. The East India Company took the diamond from India after conquering the Sikh Empire and gifted it to Queen Victoria in 1851. The diamond came a long way through the hands of various invaders and rulers, including the Mughals, the Sikhs, the Afghans, and finally in the hands of the British. Estimates suggest the crown's value could span anywhere from the staggering $3.4 to $5.7 billion, while the Indians demand to give them their diamond back. Currently, it is one of the most prized possessions of the royal family. Number 4. Timeless Watch Collection. The British royal family owns some pretty darn watch collection. Timepieces that are worth a lot of money, and by a lot, we mean money that talks in millions. The late Queen Elizabeth II owned a Patek Philippe jewelry watch with pearls and diamonds all over it. It's so fancy that Patek Philippe showed it off at their Royal Watches exhibition in 2015. The late Queen also wore a Jaeger-LeCoultre cocktail watch for her coronation in 1953. The rare diamond bracelet watch is a limited edition whose price starts at around £135,000. Prince Charles likes to wear his Parmigiani Floriatore chronograph, which has a gold case and a leather strap. He also used to wear a two-tone Cartier Santos and a yellow-gold Jaeger-LeCoultre Reverso. Prince William, on the other hand, owns Omega Seamaster Professional Quartz 300M. given to him by Princess Diana. Kate Middleton has a Cartier Ballon Bleu that matches her sapphire engagement ring. Since most of these watches are custom-made, pinpointing their exact value is challenging. However, they are believed to be timeless possessions worth millions of pounds. Number 5. The Royal Pets. The British royal family has a long history of keeping rare breeds of all kinds of animals, from cats and dogs to exotic monkeys and horses. Keeping rare breeds and exotic animals is a very costly hobby to maintain. The royals love their animals so much that some royal pets even had their palaces, weddings, and funerals. Queen Victoria, the first royal to popularize dog breeding, had over 50 dogs of different breeds. She also had a pet monkey named Miko. King Edward VII and Queen Alexandra had several terriers. King George V and Queen Mary had a menagerie of pets at their Sandringham house. They had parrots, cockatoos, macaws, pigeons, pheasants, peacocks, and even kangaroos. They also had many dogs, such as collies, chows, Pekingese, and corgis. The late Queen Elizabeth II inherited the love of corgis and owned over 30 of them in her lifetime. She is, in fact, the most famous royal pet owner of all time. She has had corgis, dorgies, labradors, cocker spaniels, and even a greyhound. We wonder how much money they spend on their pets every year. Number 6. The Jewels. The British royal family is known for owning some of the most dazzling jewels in the world. From crowns and tiaras to rings and necklaces, they have a collection of precious gems that symbolize their wealth and power. Some of the most famous pieces are the Nizam of Hyderabad necklace, given to the late Queen on her wedding day. The necklace is now worth £64.2 million. Another one is the infamous Lahore diamond necklace. The 161-carat set includes 25 of the largest weighing stones. Similarly, the Cambridge Lover's Knot tiara, worn by Princess Diana and Princess Kate on their wedding day, features 19 large pearls and numerous diamonds. The tiara is worth £1.57 million. Another one is the State Diadem, consisting of 1,333 diamonds, worth a whopping £50 million. The royal family also has a lot of pearls, such as the 4-row Japanese pearl choker that was gifted to Queen Elizabeth II by Japan. The pearl choker is worth around £22,866. These are just some examples of the stunning jewels that the British royal family owns, but there are many more that are simply priceless. Number 7. The Royal Art Collection. If you have seen the paintings owned by the monarchy and ever wondered how wealthy one needs to be to own the Royal Art Collection, the answer is very, very wealthy. The British Royal Art Collection is the largest privately owned art collection in the world, and it belongs to Queen Elizabeth II. It has a market value of around £10 billion. The collection includes over 1 million paintings, sculptures, furniture, manuscripts, and more. Some of the most famous artists in the collection are Leonardo da Vinci, Rembrandt, Vermeer, and Canaletto. The collection is now displayed in various royal residences across the UK, including Buckingham Palace, Windsor Castle, and the Tower of London. Number 8. The Duchy of Cornwall. The Duchy of Cornwall is a huge estate that belongs to the eldest son of the British monarch. The territory is spread so vast that it's not just in Cornwall, but also in other parts of England, like Devon and Somerset. This royal duchy was created in 1337 by King Edward III for his son, and it has been passed down ever since. The duchy has a lot of land, properties, and businesses that make money for the Duke. It also has some special rights and privileges, like getting the property of people who die without a will in Cornwall. Moreover, the duchy doesn't pay taxes, but the Duke can pay income tax voluntarily on the profits he makes from it. One of the most priciest properties of the duchy is Restormel Castle. This medieval fortress, dating back to the 12th century, is worth about £3 million. Number 9. The Duchy of Lancaster. Can you guess how much the Duchy of Lancaster is worth? It's this huge estate that belongs to the ruling Queen of England. It's like her own personal stash of land and buildings, and the Queen gets to keep all the profits from renting out the properties or selling the crops. And guess what? She doesn't have to pay any taxes on it. The Duchy of Lancaster has been around since 1399 and covers about 45,550 acres of land in England and Wales. It also owns some prime real estate in London, like the Savoy Hotel and some offices on the Strand. The whole thing is worth about £652.8 million, which is about $870 million. Number 10. Royal Fisheries. One of the most absurd things about the Royal British family is their ownership of some of the most expensive and rare fish in the world. Whales, sturgeons, and porpoises are considered royal fish, and when they are caught or washed ashore, they become the personal property of the monarch. This is an ancient law that dates back to the reign of Edward II in the 14th century. The Queen can claim the head of a whale, while the King can claim the tail. The monarch also has a special official called the Receiver of Wreck, who is in charge of collecting the royal fish on behalf of the Crown. It's hard to estimate the exact worth of these fisheries, but they are another wealthy thing owned by the royals. Number 11. HMY Britannia. The next priciest item on the list is HMY Britannia, the royal yacht of the British monarchy from 1954 to 1997. The yacht traveled more than 1 million nautical miles around the world, visiting over 600 ports in 135 countries. It hosted many famous guests, including presidents, prime ministers, kings, and queens. It also served as a home away from home for the Queen and her family, especially Prince Philip, who loved sailing and had a role in designing the yacht. The yacht was decommissioned in 1997 after the government decided it was too expensive to maintain and replace. It is now a museum ship in Edinburgh, Scotland, where it still generates profit from over 300,000 visitors every year. There are plans to build a new yacht that could cost up to £200 million. Number 12. Sandringham Estate. Sandringham Estate is one of the costliest royal residences. King Charles III inherited it from his late mother, Queen Elizabeth II. The estate covers 20,000 acres of land in Norfolk, England, and includes a country house, gardens, park, and woodlands. The house was built in the late 19th century by King Edward VII, who bought the estate in 1862 for £220,000. The house has been the site of many important events in the history of the British monarchy, including the first Christmas broadcast by King George V in 1932. The royal estate is estimated to be worth a whopping £48.5 million as of recent times. Number 13. Windsor Castle. The next most expensive thing the Crown has been holding for over 900 years is Windsor Castle. This castle has been the late Queen's second residence and is a remarkable blend of Georgian and Victorian architecture set on 13 acres. English and French furniture adorn its rooms, reflecting a mix of cultural styles. As you wander through this remarkable castle, you'll discover a history and art treasure trove, with walls displaying paintings and portraits of previous monarchs. But in 1992, a fire caused substantial damage to this property, which a dedicated team later restored to its former grandeur. Situated in Berkshire, England, the castle currently is worth around £452 million. Number 14. Bentley State Limousine. Bentley State Limousine was a gift to the late Queen Elizabeth II on her Golden Jubilee in 2002. And it was not just any car. It was her official state limousine and one of the Crown's most expensive possessions. This elegant ride accompanied her during official events, showcasing the monarchy's splendor. Underneath its grand exterior is a powerful 6.75-liter V8 engine, offering 400 brake horsepower. Safety is no joke either. With bulletproof and bomb-proof features, the custom-made Bentley costs around £9.4 to £10 million. Number 15. Buckingham Palace. The Buckingham Palace is not just a fancy building, but also the official residence and headquarters of the monarch of the United Kingdom. That means it belongs to the Queen, but not really. It's owned by the UK government and held in trust for future generations, so no one can just sell it or rent it out. But if you're curious, some people have tried to estimate how much it would be worth if it was on the market. According to a study by McCarthy Stone, Buckingham Palace would cost a whopping £1.3 billion, or $1.6 billion, in recent years. Number 16. Stamp collection. The British royal family has a huge stamp collection that shows how insanely rich they are. They have been collecting stamps for over a century and have some of the rarest stamps in the world. A part of their philatelic collection was given to them as gifts by other countries. According to some experts, the collection is worth at least £100 million. The royal hobby of philately started with Prince Alfred, who sold his stamps to his brother Edward VII. Then Edward gave them to his son George V, who was a big stamp nerd. He bought a lot of expensive stamps, like the Mauritius 2p blue, for £1,450. Number 17. Entire swan population. There's a funny belief in England that the royal family owns all the swans. Every July, they even have a ceremony called swan upping on the River Thames to count them. This dates back to the 12th century when the Crown claimed ownership of unmarked mute swans in open waters. The connection between the royals and swans goes way back. Queen Elizabeth I wanted some swans for herself, and she won a court case declaring her rights to any wild swan in open waters. Today, they usually exercise this right along a stretch of the River Thames. Number 18. Holyrood House. Holyrood House is like the royal family's VIP spot. It was the late Queen's third official residence. This palace has been a spot for state visits and fancy ceremonies. And guess what? You can pay a visit throughout the year, as long as no royal family members are in town. The Great Gallery is the biggest room, filled with impressive portraits of Scottish monarchs. Holyrood House is spread across 10 acres, and the charm extends beyond the walls. You'll find magnificent Italian paintings inside, adding to its allure. Outside, you will find lush greenery and stunning architecture. The value of Holyrood House is around £66.6 million. Number 19. Scotland's gold mines. Apart from houses, they have some interesting rights up their sleeve. The royal family owns the rights to salmon fishing and even gold mining in Scotland. Yes, you heard it right. We are talking about mines filled with gleaming gold. Mining in Scotland means striking it for the royal family, because any gold found in these mines automatically becomes their property. It's all thanks to some ancient laws from way back in 1422 and 1592. According to these laws, anything shiny and precious in Scotland belongs to the Crown. The only way it can change hands now is through official documents. Number 20. Half of the UK's shoreline. Besides ruling the cityscapes, the royal family also owns a vast chunk of the UK coastline. It's not just a small stretch, but almost half of the shores around England, Wales, and Northern Ireland. The authority to collect royalties from wind and wave energy is a recent addition. It was granted by an Act of Parliament in 2004, when Tony Blair's Labour government was in power. Since then, the Crown Estate has organized auctions for seabed plots suitable for wind farm turbines, and these auctions have been setting records as energy companies rush to move away from oil. This brings us to the end of our video. If you found our expensive journey through British heritage and Crown possessions fascinating, then don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Stay tuned for more captivating insights into the British royal family. Until next time, take care and keep exploring.